You did it. 50,000 words. You crossed the finish line. You faced the blank page every single day and you won. Take a second. Feel that. And now the terror sets in. It's done. Your draft zero is a real thing. It's a monster. It's a beautiful, chaotic 50,000 word monster, and you have no idea where to even begin. The idea of editing this thing is so overwhelming, you want to just put it in a drawer for 6 months. Your logical brain is already screaming, it's all terrible, burn it with fire. But take a breath. The last thing you should do right now is edit this draft. In this video, I'm going to give you a radical new plan for what to do after the Book in a Month challenge. We're not going to edit. We're going to re-inspire. I'll show you how to use 2 modern tools to see and hear your story in a completely new way. We're going to use AI to generate our characters' portraits, and we're going to compose our story's custom soundtrack. This is how we play our way into revision. Hello, fellow storytellers. I'm Mark Graham, and this is The Mindful Storyteller, the channel dedicated to the magic of transformative storytelling. Now, first of all, congratulations. Seriously, take a moment to congratulate yourself in the comments. Now, whether you got to 50,000 words or not, you're here. You showed up. You did the work. And in this game, that makes you a champion. Now, assuming you have a completed draft 0, let's talk about what's next. We're not going to be mindful storytellers if we just dive into a panic-driven, red pen slashing editing frenzy. We need a process. And I'm going to show you one that bridges ancient wisdom with modern high tech. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll talk about the Fallow Field Principle, the crucial psychological reason you must not edit your draft just yet. Then, I'll show you how I use AI image tools like Leonardo or Midjourney to create living portraits of my characters. After that, we'll use an AI music tool like Producer to compose a custom soundtrack for our story based on our themes. And finally, we'll talk about how to use all this new inspiration to build an actual stress-free revision plan. If you completed the Book in a Month challenge, or even if you only wrote 5,000 words and are proud of it, hit that like button right now. You've earned it. And it tells YouTube that this journey matters to you. The most common advice you'll hear from professional writers, from Stephen King to me, is this: you have to let your draft get cold. You need to put it in a drawer and not look at it for at least 4 weeks, maybe 6. Why? Well, I call this the Fallow Field Principle. You have just harvested a 50,000 word crop from your creative mind. That field is exhausted. So if you try to immediately plant a new crop, the revision, in that same field, nothing's going to grow. You'll just be pushing around tired, farmed out dirt. But more importantly, you are still in the dream of your story. You're too close to it. You can't see its flaws. Your brain will automatically fill in the plot holes. It'll automatically read the clunky dialogue as if it's Shakespeare. You're still the writer. To be an effective editor, you must come back to it as a reader first. And that is going to take a little time. You need to forget the words. You need to lose that subjective creator intimacy. But, and this is the key, this fallow period is not passive. It's not about sitting around biting your nails and biding your time. It's a time for active inspiration. We're not going to work in the manuscript. We're going to work around it. We're not going to edit the text. We're going to re-inspire the vision. But first, let's take a second to read some of the fine print. Now, most AI platforms offer some number of free prompts in a given session or time period. If you're just getting started or just playing around, that can work just fine, and you'll still be able to generate some fabulous results. But if you think you might want to use the images or songs that you create for commercial work, whether that's in your book or a dramatic adaptation, or even on your own YouTube channel, be sure to read the fine print of whatever platform you're using. For commercial use, most platforms require at least a basic paid subscription. And if you want your songs or images to be private so no one else uses them, you may need an even higher tier subscription. So choose whatever works for you, but definitely do your own research. Okay, that's out of the way. Now, how do we re-inspire the vision? We're going to use tools that bypass the textual storytelling part of our brain entirely. Now we're going to focus on sight and sound. This is where modern AI tools stop being the scary replacement for writers and become an incredible partner for mindful creators. We're going to use two types. First is AI image generation. There are a number of tools out there like Leonardo, Midjourney, Dolly, whatever. The tool itself doesn't matter. The prompt is what matters. And here's the mindful trick. Do not just prompt a 40-year-old man with brown hair. That's your intellect talking. You have to prompt the soul. You have to prompt the theme. You have to use the archetypal language we've been practicing. Instead, write something like a 40-year-old king, his face lined with the grief of a lost kingdom, eyes stung by salt water, a single silver streak in his beard, in the style of Rembrandt, cinematic lighting, stormy atmosphere. You prompt the feeling. You can even prompt the rune if you like. A young scribe, his eyes wide with the secret of Perthro reversed. A warrior filled with the unstoppable drive of Uruz. Second up is AI music generation. I use a tool called Producer, what used to be called Refusion. There are several other great ones out there as well. Now, again, don't just prompt sad music. Prompt the scene. Prompt the theme. A soaring, melancholic orchestral piece for a lonely queen walking on a frozen beach. Cello and violin, slow and full of longing. Or maybe a tense, anxious, ticking clock track for a library at night. Harpsichord and whispers, suspenseful, minimalist. You are creating a soundtrack for your book, scene by scene. And this is so much more than just playing around. This is an act of deep, creative clarification. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. We're going to switch to a screen recording. I'm going to take a character from my own draft 0, a character who's still a little fuzzy to me, and we're going to meet him for the first time. All right, let's play. My character is named Valerius. He's a disgraced Roman general, now an old man living in exile in a cold northern forest, maybe somewhere in Germania. He's proud, but broken and haunted. The rune I pulled for him in my outline was Altala reversed, a loss of home, of legacy. So let's start with a basic prompt. Old man, Roman, in the forest, sad. And we get sad grandpa in cosplay. It's terrible. It's lifeless. And this is my intellect talking. Let's try again, but let's do a mindful storyteller prompt. Let's prompt from the soul. A photorealistic portrait of a 70-year-old Roman general, aristocratic face, sharp eyes filled with profound regret, and simmering pride, a thick gray beard, a scar over his left eye, wearing a simple wool tunic in a dark, snow-dusted pine forest. Cinematic lighting, golden hour. Whoa. Okay, look at that one. That's him. That's Valerius. Look at the pride in his jawline, but the grief in his eyes. I can see the Othello reversed in his entire face. I know exactly who I'm writing. I'm saving this one. I'm printing it out. This is my guy. Okay, I'm loving this. But now, what does his theme song sound like? He's sitting in his cold cabin, remembering his lost honor. A slow, melancholic, and deeply mournful Roman-inspired orchestral piece. A single lamenting cello melody over a bed of low male chanting, and the faint sound of a cold wind. Cinematic, full of regret and lost honor. Holy shit. This is the sound of his heart. This is the sound of the entire chapter. And now when I go back to edit, to fill in the details, I can write the scene to this music. I know the vibe, the pacing, the emotion. We haven't changed a single word of our manuscript yet. But is our story better? Is our vision clearer? Are we excited to go back to it? Yeah. I now have a face for Valerius. I know the sound of his world, of his soul. And when I go back to that draft in a few weeks, I'm not just fixing typos. I'm making sure his dialogue matches his face. I'm making sure the pacing of the scene matches this music. I have a new external objective guide. This is your new revision path. Step 1, let your draft rest for 4 to 6 weeks minimum. Step 2, during your rest, play. Create a vision board for the story. Generate the portraits for your whole cast or for your major scene settings. Create a soundtrack for the big turning points. And step 3, when you finally open that draft, you will be a reader. You will have your portrait of faces and your playlist of music, and you will instantly see the gaps. You'll see where the text doesn't quite match the vision. This is the new frontier of mindful creativity. Far from having technology crush our creativity or using it as a crutch because we're lazy, we can use it as inspiration, as a mirror to reflect back to our own vision to us with a clarity we've never had before. Using AI, crafting and playing with the prompts bypasses the critical, logical editor and connects us directly to the same holistic, intuitive right brain muse we access with the runes. It is the most powerful tool for revision and inspiration I've come across in years, and it's going to be a game changer. So let's recap. 1, your draft 0 is done. Congratulations, seriously. Now, put it in a drawer and let that field lie fallow. 2, this rest period over the next few weeks is for active inspiration. And 3, use modern tools like AI to revision your characters and really hear your world. Create your vision board. Create your soundtrack. You're not an editor right now. You're a casting director. You're a composer. You are a visionary. Thanks for joining me today. If this blend of ancient wisdom and modern technology is what you're all about, if you want to keep exploring how to be a more intentional and powerful storyteller, then subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started. Now for the fun work. In the comments below, I want you to give me your 3-word soul prompt for your protagonist's portrait. What are the 3 words that define their innermost being? I can't wait to see them. And now that we're in the rest and inspiration phase, what's next? Well, next time, I'll give you my creative guide to refilling the creative well. And I'll use my life as an expat storyteller here in Lisbon to stay inspired. Congratulations again, storyteller. I'm proud of you, and I'm grateful to you for showing up for your story. Now, take a break. You've earned a rest. I'll see you next time. And until then, may your story guide you well.